Welcome everyone to the Indie StarCraft 2 Team League Wrap-Up. This is Shalthus from the GKIC Network at gkic.net and Observer Casting at observer.gkic.net, here to present the ISTL Wrap-Up for this week's semi-final match between Team NrG and Western Wolves, formerly known as Infused. Special thanks to the sponsors of this tournament, Maxed Out Studios, Legends of Elveron, and of course Impulse Esports. So without further ado, let's get right down to the match. In Game 1 of the semifinals, we had NrG's Dime going up against the UK WCS champion Zictamini from Western Wolves on ESV Cloud Kingdom. After starting off with standard builds and key scouting, Mini elects to push out with a large Roach army while Dime counters on a Sentry Immortal push. As the two armies pass blindly, a possible base trade scenario opens up as the Roaches begin to decimate Dime's base and supply block him while Mini's third is destroyed. However, Mini's quick thinking and reinforcing his main with Spine Crawlers proves to be advantageous as the Spines take out Dime's Immortals and Sentries and force the Protoss player to GG and put Western Wolves up 1-0. Mini rolls into his second match against NrG's Lucky Fool, spawning in close air positions on MLG Shakura's Plateau. Opening on a 1-Rax expansion build for Lucky Fool and a gasless 2-base open for Mini, the early pressure comes in the form of Ractored Hellions and Cloaked Banshees. However, Mini's foresight allows him to hold off the early pressure by blindly placing some Spore Crawlers down to prevent the Stealth Banshees from having any effect. Lucky Fool, however, would surprisingly head into Mini's base with a Thor Hellion Banshee play with Blue Flame already researched. The play proves to be very effective, but nearly falls apart after some mismicroed Thors. However, the elimination of Mini's anti-air with the DPS of those Banshees becomes too much, and Mini is forced to GG and concede Game 2 to NrG. With the series knotted up at 1 game apiece, Team NrG's Lucky Fool heads up against Western Wolves' Starnan. Both players open up safe and standard, but Lucky Fool gets an early economic advantage by placing an expansion in the far lower right-hand corner of the map, which doesn't get scouted until very late. However, a timely push by Starnan ends up catching Lucky Fool's army off guard in the middle of the map to clean it up pretty quickly. From there, the Protoss player manages upgrades ahead of his Terran opponent, and despite a well-designed base attack by Lucky Fool, Starnan is able to clean the army up and counter with a massive High Templar and Colossus push, which forced Lucky Fool to GG and put Western Wolves up 2-1. It's Buddha's favorite Terran build here in Game 4 on MLG Antigua Shipyard, as Starnan tries to give Western Wolves a greater advantage over Team NrG's Avoid. Avoid opens with an expansion before second depot build, as Starnan keeps it fairly standard. Critical observer placement does manage to keep Starnan aware of Avoid's first push, and the timing is just off enough to put Starnan in a great defensive position to turn Avoid around. A late major engagement comes and Avoid does significant damage, but a decision to pull his army back after some small Zealot harassment gives Starnan the opportunity to recover his substantial supply disadvantage. The late push with a strike right into some Templar Storms gives Starnan the chance to counter right back and force Avoid to GG out and put Western Wolves up 3-1, even though the game might not have been quite over yet. Listall is the last hope for NrG, as Starnan hopes to close the semifinals out on GSL Metropolis. Starnan looks to end the game early, opening up with a Dark Templar Expand build, and even though Listall managed to do a bit of damage with his first Roach push, a single DT and no detection caused this short match to end right away, and Starnan wrapped the game and took the series. Western Wolves will be moving on to the finals of the ISTL Season 2 to face off against the winner of Team Impulse versus Team My Intent, all amazing teams. Also, the third place match will be coming up shortly thereafter. The next semifinal match will take place on Sunday, July 8th, so don't miss it. You can catch it at twitch.tv/impulse, and you can follow us on Twitter at IMP_esports.